Okay, hello, my name is Jamie Wise and welcome to my YouTube channel. I've wanted to do one of these for a long time. I have a lot of stuff inside that I want to get out, but I've just never done it. I've always been a little bit embarrassed. So I thought I would start with stories of how I became a male model. If you guys don't know me, back in 2013, I started modeling, and in about 5 years, everything went crazy. I'd worked for Tommy Hilfiger, H&M, Zara. I'd done Fashion Week in Milan, Paris, New York, Japan. I'd done it maybe 4 or 5 times before I stopped modeling and eventually decided to do something else. So I was incredibly successful and I traveled the world and I had a fantastic experience, and I had never even considered the possibility of modeling before it happened. So I'm going to tell you a little story about how it happened. So from when I was very, very, very young, I saw my brother in a performance of Bugsy Malone, which is this musical theatre show, and I remember sitting in the audience watching my brother being absolutely amazed at what he was doing, and all I could think was, oh my god, when I get into this school I am going to do exactly the same thing. So as soon as I joined the high school that my brother was in, I auditioned for the musical theatre show that year and I got a part, and that was the beginning of my performance journey, the journey where I like to express myself and do things and use myself, you know, and in those moments I felt, I felt so connected to everything. And so that's what started off my whole performance journey. And I carried on doing that, and I decided to take performance at university too. So I went to university, and for 3 years I was in an ensemble and I studied acting and performance and music and dance and all those things. I had a great group of friends. I felt like we did great work, creative work, especially as a student. You know, you're so into it, and I was so passionate. I was like, we're doing work, we're doing the good work. And everything seemed absolutely amazing, and that was what my future was going to be, was creating these works and trying to affect people with these works. And so I graduated, and within 2 weeks I moved to London, and about a month after that I moved to a part of London called Putney, and I got a job at a place called Fulham Football Club. If any of you guys know England or the football there, it's a Premiership team. And all I did there was make coffee. I was the barista at the cafe there. And then on the weekends, I would basically serve as a tea stand attendant. And there was this huge stack of cups and tea, vestibules. And I would basically just pour tea for these old school football heroes from England, and listen to them talk about the World Cup at the time, and listen to them talk about the teams and the players. And it was very surreal for me. It was very surreal, but super interesting too. At the same time, I was working so much that I had no chance to do any acting auditions. When I first arrived to London, I bought this book which had every single agent's information in it, and I sent emails and calls to every single agent, and out of all of them, this one comedic agent took me on, and I was the first dramatic actor she was going to take on. But because I was working so much at this cafe and at another job that I had to pick up to survive, I couldn't do any auditions. And so continuously she would tell me that I should try modeling. And I thought that was a silly idea. As I say, back when I was a kid, I remember looking in the mirror, wanting to be an actor and being like, everyone on TV is absolutely beautiful, and I look like a freaking weirdo. So I never thought that I could ever do anything like that. But my acting agent was pretty serious about it. And so I went home, Googled all the real main agencies in London, and then one day took a day off work and just walked to every single agency, walked in the front door, walked to the front desk and was like, hey, my name's Jamie, I'm interested in being a model. And that's all I did. And I went to about 8 different agencies, and every single one of them said no. In fact, probably 4 or 5 of them kind of awkwardly laughed me out, in a weird way, and I felt quite uncomfortable. But I carried on going, and I ended up at Models One, which was actually the premier agency in London at the time. And an agent there called Cheryl, she decided that she would test me out. So she'd book me a photo shoot, like a test shoot. And so I went to my first test shoot. I had no idea what I was doing in front of a camera. I was always a little bit awkward in front of a camera anyway. I am a performer, but this was like slightly different because it was very real, very present, and I couldn't quite find the way to perform at this time, you know? And I remember the photographer basically asking me if I'd ever watched that film, Something in Idaho. And in that film, Leonardo DiCaprio plays a male prostitute. And basically he wanted that kind of energy. And maybe it was to get me out of my shell or something, because if you look at those first pictures from my first modeling shoot, you can tell I'm a little bit closed off. But anyway, so we take the pictures, do the test shoot, it's fantastic. I'm not sure I want to do this still, but the agency, Models One, get the shoot back and they all say no. So I'm not going to be a model. Thank you very much, Jamie. But no, we're not going to take you any further than this. And so I was like, okay, that's no problem. I'm not a model. You know, there's no way I'm going to be a model. If I'm going to be an actor, I'm going to be some weird side character, you know? So I went home and I was like, well, why don't I try one last attempt and send all of those test shoot pictures that I just got taken to all of the agencies that I couldn't visit that day. And so I did that, and within 20 minutes, I got a reply from one agency saying, can you come in today? I went in that day, they put a contract down, I signed the contract, not even thinking, and the rest is history. And if you want to know more and you want to, I'm going to go into each photo shoot and the development of my career and everything that happened over a series of YouTube videos. So just keep tuning in and I'll tell you more. You know, I've honestly done a lot in the fashion industry, and if you're interested in male modeling or the fashion industry, I can promise you what's coming will be of interest to you. Take care. Thank you very much. I'm Jamie Wise. Like and subscribe, please. You know, thank you.